Good evening, everybody. So we were in the last part of the chat, no? Yes. I think we were doing, should I do to maybe the national? Yeah, homework. Is, yeah. वो एक्सरसाइज बोल रहा है ऐसा बोल रहा है जैसे मैंने कोई गुनाह कर दिया यस यस When you do this one, this 2 should go down. All rational numbers on one side, only irrational numbers on this side. So this 2 also should have gone down. Then only then you can say that rational number is equal to irrational number, which is not right. So these are आपने रूट 3 लिखा है, ये इधर से 2 गिरे. ये आपका 75 कैसे है? डी है ना बच्चे. You did not do this one. You did. So this was the question number password का 1 का फिर. Because we didn't do that in the past. Because I saw it in Bubble. Oh, yeah, very good. This is wrong. No problem. We'll discuss. Don't worry. root 45 you can do. Okay. That was actually last class, so that one is. Okay, now the doubts. First of all, root 45. Root 45 आप लोगों ने राइट किया है, पर वो बड़ा मेथड दिया आप लोगों ने, root 6 वाला मेथड, root 2 वाला मेथड. I could have done root 45 like this also. I could have written this as like this. So this would have become easy, no? Very clear. वो पूरा आपने को a squared b squared का मेथड करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती. You also did the same way. You also did the same. Then you did that root 3 plus root 2 wala wrong. root 2 plus root 3. अब बच्चे जब ऐसा होगा ना, तो ये भी राशि है, ये भी राशि है, तो एक काम करो, इसको आप स्क्वायरिंग करो, ठीक है? So this becomes like this. This is 5. You understood? Right in the beginning, you could have done this. You tried to do squaring afterwards. In your or something. ठीक है? So right in the beginning, जैसे हमने 3 plus root 2 the whole square वाला एक्सप्लेन किया था, लेकिन 3 minus root 2 उसको वैसे करना. Clear? Any other doubt? Yes. What is the number? Somebody. Fifth, I think we did in class. 3 minus root 5 the whole square. Good morning. 3 minus root 5 the whole square. Exactly like this. That's what I was saying. Okay. 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 Contradiction. We did this in classes. Do you remember that I teach maths? Next one. 6 upon 2 root 3. Take it. Contradiction. तो भी कोई बात नहीं, अगर some people go still further extreme, 3 upon root 3 is root 3. Let root 3 be equal to a by b. Then पूरा वो method. Root 3 is equal to a by b. चलो इसको ऐसे ही कर दो. ठीक है? Next out. Any other doubt? We start with the next chapter. Polynomials. What's a polynomial? Anybody? Polynomial किसके रूप स्कूल में शुरू हुआ है? बस इसमें कोई बात नहीं. Yours too. Yours. Ended also.
6 chapters then.
Huh?
6 chapters is finished.
अच्छा, linear equation also over.
No, they first started with polynomial. Next they did the quadratic equation.
For quadratic equation.
And now they're doing trigonometry.
अच्छा, सीधा trigonometry हो गया.
Just skipping.
अच्छा, ठीक है. And when do you have an exam or something? कुछ है? Test? July. So what about your school? You're starting in the year. First? Achha, so only linear equations has been done till. over polynomials. You were not in the same school. Okay, so since both of you have done polynomial, what's a polynomial?
Is any equation if it's a variable power as a whole number.
What do you say?
So you know the combination of algebraic which has powers of
You said everything right, both of something similar, but it's not an equation. Equation होता है ना उसमें equal to आता है. It's an expression. Expression क्या होता है जिसमें equal to sign नहीं होता है, जिसमें left hand side right hand side नहीं होता है. ये है ना अपना equation है. अगर मैं सिर्फ ऐसे लिखूं तो it's an expression and it contains variables, it contains numbers, but the most important property is it is an expression. A polynomial is an expression in which the power or the degree of the variable is a whole number, not a whole integer. It's a whole number. I repeat, a polynomial is a mathematical expression in which the degree or the power or the order, whatever we call it, of the variable is a whole number. Whole numbers means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. That means a power can never be a negative number. The power can never be a fraction. Power can only be a whole number. Is this a polynomial? Sure. Why? What's the power of this? Is this a polynomial? I can still see a doubt in my yes. Is it a polynomial? If you tell me yes, I'll ask you why. If you tell me no, also I'm going to ask you why. Polynomial is variable. Have variables. So it does not have variable. No? तो आप इसको polynomial कैसे बोलते हो? Is it a polynomial or not a polynomial? No. So he said yes. She said yes. You said no.
Yes.
Why? It has a power. Where can you see the power one? I can't see the power one. Why do you say yes, it's a polynomial?
As a disguised variable, it's minus x power 0.
Beautiful. Power one नहीं है. वेरिएबल का पावर देखना है. यहाँ पे जो -3 बन जाता है ना, it's a constant term. But जब मैं उसको x के साथ में लिखता हूँ तो it becomes a coefficient. A number does not have a power. A variable should have a power. A polynomial is a mathematical expression in which the degree of the variable is a whole number. Degree of the variable is a whole number. So it has got, as Mohammed said, disguised variable x या y या m जो भी है, but उसका power 0 है. So this type of a polynomial is called as a constant polynomial. What is it called as? Constant polynomial. Is this a polynomial? So one video on process is huh? So yes or no? Sure. Okay, na? Confident, yes or no? What's the confusion? Yes, what do you say? Tony? Huh? Sure.
Yes.
Mother, what about you? Huh?
Yes.
It's not नहीं मैं क्या पूछा आपको मैं थोड़ी पूछा मैं पूछा पॉलिनोमियल पे नहीं
Sir, its variable can have any power. Still it will be zero.
मैं आपको आपका नाम पूछा आप मेरे को अपने गांव वालों का सबका नाम बता रहे हो अपना नाम नहीं बता रहे हो मैं पूछा so you say no you say yes yes and you say yes why do you say yes again because still a polynomial. Zero is a constant. This type of a polynomial is called a constant. समझ गए? ये भी polynomial है. ये भी constant polynomial. This is a polynomial. It's like left against right. So, two people are saying yes, these people are saying no. Why do you say no?
Its power will be negative.
When I take x up, it will become x raised to -1. Not a polynomial. पक्का डाउट है समझी श्योर देखते हैं Is this a polynomial? हाँ नहीं बोलने का पैसा नहीं लगता है बिंदास जो बोल रहे हो
Yes.
हाँ yes no no इसने तो ऐसे ही yes बोला एक्चुअली yes है क्योंकि देखो बच्चों मैं पर्पस ही इसके बाद में दिया ये सब क्योंकि इधर अब x नीचे था तो सबने बोला नो पॉलिनोमियल बिकॉज जब ऊपर जाएगा तो -1 बनेगा तो ये भी आपने ऐसे ही सोचा लेकिन बेटा आपने इसको सिंपलीफाई करने के बाद में आंसर बोला कि नहीं आपने उसको ऊपर लेकर गए x रेज़ टू -1 बनाया एंड बिकॉज द डिग्री वाज नेगेटिव यू सेड इट इज नॉट अ पॉलिनोमियल तो इसको क्यों नहीं सिंपलीफाई should have simplified this also है कि नहीं पक्का आगे बढ़े थोड़ा और देखें Sorry, you're sitting on the first bench. So it is. What do you say? It is. What do you say? Sir, sometimes it looks like polynomial. Sometimes it doesn't. Bolo. It is. What do you say? No. No is
7 to the power x.
Ah. बच्चों आप लोग ऐसा करो ना, ये तो कट जाएगा, ये तो कट जाएगा, लेकिन ये तो नीचे रह जाएगा ना। पूरा मुझे फुल देखने बच्चों, समझ गए पक्का? देख Is this a polynomial? Take your time, don't worry. No. Yes. Why do you say no? Square root है ना, लेकिन बेटा इसका पावर क्या है? इसको हम लोग कोएफिशिएंट बोलते हैं। कोएफिशिएंट कुछ भी होने दो, even if I write like this, still it will be a polynomial. समझा? Clear? It is. Yes, करो पैसा तो नहीं देता, ये थोड़ी KBC इसमें पैसा हार जाओगे रॉन्ग बोलोगे। You said,
Yes.
you said, you said no. You said, why do you say no?
Because in this debate, it's not transparent.
Hmm?
It's transparent.
अच्छा ठीक है। Is this a polynomial? And this one? This you're saying yes. Anna, what about this one? You just said no. That's what I'm asking. Hey, yes or no first? No. और ये है, अच्छा ये क्यों है? Beautiful, lovely understanding. Very good. Whereas this is not, because square root मतलब बेटा ये क्या हो जाएगा? Understood this? Understood why it is not? Very good, beautifully shared. Is this clear? Okay, so polynomial is a mathematical expression in which the degree of the power of the variable should be a whole number. Okay, and if I write a polynomial, the degree or the order of this polynomial or the expression is 4. We look at the highest power. We always look at the highest power of the variable. So this is the degree of the polynomial. What's the order of the degree of this polynomial? Three. Degree is 3. इसका पावर कितना है? 1. इसका पावर कितना है? 0. इसका पावर कितना है? 2. इसका पावर कितना है? 3. So the highest power of the variable is called as the degree of the polynomial. And if I have to write this polynomial in the standard form, Standard form मतलब देखो order 3, order 2, order 1, order 0. Either in the increasing order or in the decreasing order. This is called as a standard form of a polynomial. What is it called as? Standard form of a polynomial. Okay. Now, a polynomial has something called as zeros. Zeros of a polynomial. What is the zeros of a polynomial? Means when I substitute that value in the polynomial for x, the resulting answer should be 0. That is called as a zero of a polynomial. So now if I look at this polynomial, since the degree is 3, we'll have 3 zeros. It's like factors as you say. Degree is 3, so we'll have 3 zeros. If the degree is 2, it will have 2 zeros. If the degree is 1, it will have 1 zero. So yeah, whatever is the degree of the polynomial, it will have so many zeros. Okay, zeros of a polynomial is that value of the variable which makes the resultant value of the polynomial as 0. Did you understand? Clear? Okay. Now, first of all, the first exercise is based on the geometrical interpretation of the number. So here, if you look at your factor, you have the, as I explained to you, degree of a polynomial. So they're giving you an example, 3x cubed plus 4. Here the degree is 3, as we discussed there also. Okay? Linear polynomial degree is 1. Quadratic polynomial degree is 2. Okay, and so on. Cubic polynomial degree is 3. Now, 0 of a polynomial, a real number a is said to be a 0 of a polynomial if f of x is equal to 0 or x is equal to a. That means when I substitute the value of x in the polynomial, the resulting answer or the remainder that I should get should be 0. Is this clear? Now, geometrical meaning of the zeros of a polynomial. Okay. Now, supposing if I would give you this graph and I want to ask you how many zeros does this polynomial have? So what you will look at is only the number of times, I repeat, the number of times that graph cuts the x-axis. Cuts the x-axis, the horizontal axis. So if you look at this, it is cutting the x-axis 2 times. So this is the graph of a quadratic polynomial. That means this polynomial will have 2 zeros. The number of times it cuts, or even if it touches the x-axis, it will have so many zeros. If I look at this next graph again 2 zeros. 2 times. This one also 2 zeros. Look, नीचे देखो इधर 1 0. एक ही टाइम टच कर. 1 0 means it is a graph of a linear polynomial. ये देखो नीचे इसके 2 डायग्राम है. No zeros. क्योंकि x axis को टच ही नहीं करते. Only for x axis, not for y axis. Because this contains variable x. So the number of times it cuts the x axis. If it had contained the variable y, then you would have seen how many times it is cutting the y axis. But most of your polynomials are in the variable x. So we look at it only with respect to the x axis. Is this clear? So now this is the polynomial which has got no zeros because it is not touching or cutting the x axis. Is this clear? So look at these examples from next page or example 2.1. First one, how many zeros? 1. Second one, third one, next one, next one, next one, 4. ठीक अच्छा अभी आ जाओ अनसॉल्व्ड एक्सरसाइज में this one the first one how many zeros huh no zeros yeah second one third fourth fifth last one 3 you don't understand. Yes, you have a doubt. They will not use what even if you have to draw. No. Why? Y axis.
Y axis.
अगर प्लॉट करने की बात आती है ना जो कि हम लीनियर इक्वेशंस में सीखते हैं आपके यहाँ पे लीनियर इक्वेशंस किया है ना आपके स्कूल में हम इसीलिए आप पूछ रहे हो ना ये क्वेश्चन supposing I want to plot a graph of this is a linear equation in 2 variables so whenever we have to plot them we always keep one variable on the left hand side, everything else on the right hand side. Now I will make a table. Because to plot a point, I need 2 coordinates, x and y. Yeah? Which is the variable on the right hand side? X. So we'll assume some value for x. Let me take the value of x as 0, first of all. 7 minus 0. So I'll get this point. Let me take the value of x as 2. So 7 minus 4. Let me take the value of x as 4. 7 minus 8. And then I can plot. This is a graph of a linear equation in 2 variables, which will always be a straight line. So if I were to plot zero comma 7 would have come here, 2 comma 3 would have come here, 4 comma minus 1 would have come here. So I will get a straight line. That we learn in the next chapter. Okay? So here you don't have plotting, except the fact that whenever I have to find out the zeros of a polynomial, I look at the graph and I will see the number of points it touches the x-axis or touches the x-axis. ठीक है? आपको प्लॉट करने को इस चैप्टर में नहीं देंगे. Now in this chapter basically we will be discussing quadratic polynomials. Quadratic polynomials means those polynomials which have got 2 zeros, they are of the order 2. The standard or the general form of a polynomial को हम लोग p of x बोलते हैं या q of x या r of x या f of x को भी बोल सकते हैं. Small letter p. X means it contains a variable x. P of y लिखूंगा तो means it contains a variable y. P of n लिखूंगा तो means it contains a variable n. The standard or the general form of a quadratic polynomial is ax squared plus bx plus t. Quadratic means it will have two zeros. Quadratic means it will have two zeros. Generally, we denote these zeros as alpha and beta. Okay. Now let me give you an example. When I write like this means I'm going to put the value of x as 0. So whatever I do on my left hand side, I'm going to do on my right hand side also. This will become 8 minus 3, 5, 5 plus 1, 6. So do you see that this was one polynomial which I gave you? What was left at the end is called as a remainder on substituting the values of x. But now we are giving it a new name. This is called as the value of the polynomial. What is it called as? Value of the polynomial. The value of a polynomial is never fixed. It keeps on changing depending on the value of x. For different values of x, I will get different values of the polynomial. Is this clear? If on substituting a particular number in the polynomial, the resulting value is 0, then I say that it is the 0 of the polynomial. It is the 0 of a polynomial. Let us take an example. Let me put the value of x as 1.
Sir, but midterms it will be easier. If we
But मैं अभी कर रहा हूँ value of the polynomial by substituting different values. करेंगे हर बार आपको middle term वाला नहीं मिलेगा. क्यूबिक होगा तो तकलीफ में आ जाएगा. इसीलिए मैं पहले ये सिखा. मैंने क्या डाला x का वैल्यू 1. Since p of 1 is equal to 0, therefore 1 is the 0 of the polynomial. Because it is a quadratic polynomial, it will have one more 0. It will have one more 0. Let me try by putting x as minus 1. I don't know. What is this? 2 plus 3 plus 1. So can I say minus 1 is a 0 of the polynomial? No. Will you understand? Then I have to put x is equal to 2 minus 2. That way we have to proceed. But that will be very long. That is why my friend said, sir, why don't you do splitting the middle term? Again, so I'll do splitting the middle term, let us say. Let us say I'm doing splitting the middle term. 2x squared minus 3x plus 1. What is the product? 2. So what are my factors? So we'll say let this fellow be equal to 0. So x is equal to, that is why we have got. Because it's a 0 of the polynomial, that is saying let this be equal to 0. Let this be equal to 0. As we said, it's a quadratic polynomial which will have 2 zeros. Which are the 2 zeros? 1 and half. Now let me put half and see. This will come 2 by 4. What is 2 by 4? Because 1 plus half is 1 and a half. 3 by 2 is also. So I could say yes. Verify. Okay. Just an example. And we can find out the zeros by putting the value of x. That is using the concept of value of a polynomial, or by splitting the middle term, getting two factors, equating both those factors to 0, and getting your value of x. Clear? Now we come to, as I said at the beginning, a quadratic polynomial will have 2 zeros. One is alpha, one is beta. The first type of question that you can get here is verify the relationship between the zeros and the coefficients of a polynomial. For that, we are going to use something called as sum of the zeros with reference to ax squared plus bx plus c. Alpha plus beta is minus b by a. Alpha into beta, c by a. This is called as product of zeros. This is sum of zeros. This is product of zeros. Now let us see how we are going to do this type of sums. Okay, the first sum. See the question what it says. Find the zeros, exercise 2.2. Find the zeros for the following quadratic polynomials and verify the relationship between the zeros and its coefficient. So I start with the first question. 4s squared minus 4s plus 1. What am I going to write here? P of s, because it contains a variable s. I'm going to use splitting the middle term. 4 ones are 4. Correct? Two s. Both the zeros are same. Let P of s be equal to 0. Correct? Yes or no? Therefore, my alpha is also half. My beta is also half. Now, I will write sum of zeros. Product of zeros. Now I have to show the verification. This was by the zeros method. I got 2 zeros, then I wrote some more zeros, and I wrote the zeros. Okay. Comparing 4s squared minus 4s plus 1 with as squared plus bs plus c, we get a is 4, b is minus 4, c is 1. Therefore, sum of zeros, that is alpha plus beta, is minus b by a, which is minus what did I get the sum of zeros? Product of zeros what is my C? Are they matching? Yes. And finally, I write hence relationship between the zeros and coefficients of the polynomial is verified. Here you did that, here you did the verification. This is clear. These are the entire steps of that process. How many understood? Particularly, it's not done in your school. No? Yeah, now you understood. No? So these two already done in school. Finished. Then do the other three subs. You have three more subs there. Third, 7z squared minus 340. देखो,
Give the equation.
7z squared ऐसा लिख सकते हो उसको z plus 7 into z minus 7 ऐसे था ना आपका बेटा तो आप जब 7 को कॉमन लोगे तो you'll get 49 there a plus b a minus b therefore z plus 7 is equal to 0 7 cannot be equal to 0 it has to have two zeros only it's a quadratic polynomial so 1 0 will be z plus 7 is equal to 0 so z is minus 7 other 0 7 minus 7 is equal to 0 z is equal to 7 so this is your alpha let us say this is your beta what will be the sum of the zeros 0 product of the zeros minus 1 understood